It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
Welcome, Snowmageddon 2016. It's Sunday. It's time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive experience. I'm Nick Miles, and you're listening to America's automotive radio show, Test Miles. Locally created, nationally celebrated. In an official instruction from the show this morning, just don't go anywhere. Stay home, listen to the radio for the next hour.
Then go out.
Then
go to Costco, stock up.
It's not going to be that bad, Sean.
Well, KGW is already telling everyone to go to Costco's and stock up for the next month.
I don't think it's going to be quite that bad. I expect it's going to disappear about lunchtime tomorrow, at least. There's a little bit of snow. So
Maybe
what's on this morning? What's on this morning's show? This morning's show is absolutely packed. We're going to talk a little bit about CES, which comes up next week. We're also going to talk about the Detroit International Auto Show and the North American International Auto Show, where the car and truck of the year will be named. We'll be naming the Test Miles Vehicle of the Year this year. We talk about the cars that we've been driving. And also we're going to find out about some of the products some of the product that's going to be released at CES this week. We have a special guest on to talk about how they're combining the navigation system and dash cams into one single unit, which I think is a very clever idea. So, what have we been test driving this week? Not necessarily snow vehicles that I've been driving this week. The first one I've been is a BMW 6 Series. By the way, I drove Project Discovery to work this morning, our Land Rover Discovery that we did for last year's Portland International Auto Show, because I wasn't sure how bad the roads were going to be by the time we left the studio this morning. But the other cars I have in my driveway, BMW 6 Series, that's a 3-liter twin-powered turbo, nice 6-cylinder vehicle, 315 horsepower, 8-speed Steptronic Sports. It comes in rear-wheel drive, which I happen to have. It also comes in all-wheel drive, which I happen not to have. It has that 29 miles a gallon MPG, which I'm not getting because I'm me and I drive a little faster. Audi A7 is its competition along with the CLS. It falls into that sort of coupe grand touring vehicle. I think I actually prefer it in the convertible than the hardtop, which is what I have. The price of this is kind of high. If you're looking for something in this field, you'll be paying at least $77,000 for it. Could be as much as $122,000. I don't know about you guys, but I think the 6 Series is about ready for a major refresh. It's heavy, it's large, it's still a fun car, but it needs an injection of fun.
Would you rather drive a Maserati or the Jaguar? Is that in the same? Well, I want something that it's distinctive, but I really like. If I'm going to spend that much money, I want to be unique.
So what Jaguar? Because Jaguar's a 2-seat and this is a 4 technically, or 2+2.
I was thinking more of the Quattroporte or something like that.
Yeah,
something unique and interesting. I want to really stand out if I'm driving.
I think the 6 Series is a very California vehicle. I think once you get above the Mason-Dixon line, it's not so popular. But it's definitely the convertible versions, Santa Barbara, those sort of places are where it really hits high.
But wouldn't the Maserati be almost $20,000 starting? More than that, because isn't starting for that vehicle like 60, 70, or a Quattroporte you're not getting into for under 120.
I think it's a bit cheaper than that, but it's definitely a big price increase. But we talk about things like we don't have to pay for them on this show.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the big difference here.
I don't know. I think my problem with that the 6 Series is we were talking about. I feel it's more for older people. Like, it's a nice boulevard cruiser and not a true sports car.
What do you think, Brad?
I'm going to drive the car that the guys at El Gaucho will park and leave up front.
All right, that probably might be a 6 Series.
It might be a 6 Series.
But it definitely won't be the Honda Odyssey minivan, which is the other vehicle. I know you'd like to drive this because your family would be very happy. It's an 8-passenger minivan, Kelly Blue Book's Best Buy of the year 2016. I think one of the problems with minivans is they become huge. They become really, really teched out with lots and lots of extras.
Expensive is the word you're looking for.
I mean, that was the third thing that's happened to them as well. However, I happened to be at San Diego Auto Show on New Year's Eve and ran into Scott Brown, our friend from FCA Chrysler, the Fiat Chrysler Group. And he told me that, of course, the new minivan's coming in Detroit. He told me it's amazing. And I told him it better be, because the competition, like, the Americans aren't as favorable towards minivans as they have been in the past. And if you're going to bring one out, you've got to do the Kia thing, where you've got to hit a place in the market where there isn't any competition in there. But the Odyssey fills a nice gap, almost 250 horsepower, 248. It also does 28 miles a gallon. Its competition, pretty much any other minivan, the Sienna, the Dodge Caravan, the Kia Sedona, the Chrysler Town & Country. That comes in multiple trim levels, lots of tech on the inside. Love their infotainment system, but it does start around $30,000, and the sky's the limit. If you start putting things on this vehicle, it does also come with that really clever little vacuum cleaner in the back, which helps you pick up those Cheerios and all the other things in the back. I like that idea, and I think every car should come with it if you have kids under the age of 16.
I've used that vacuum to clean out my vet. It's a nice vac.
Well, you backed up the minivan to your vet and then vacuumed it?
Yeah, I didn't have a shop vac, so.
So lazy. All right, what have you been driving?
I've actually been driving the Mazda 6, and it is the 2015 Top Safety Pick Plus. Some of the good for the vehicle is the styling. Love the red paint that Mazda's came up for other vehicles now. It's a beautiful paint job.
You know about they had to build their spray gun especially for this paint.
Yeah, it's unbelievable when you look at that paint job. I'm not a red car fan, but I would definitely buy a red car just for this paint. I love what they did with it. The interior styling on it's really nice. It actually has an elegant look, and it's simple to use. It has a 2.5 liter Skyactiv engine, cranks out 184 horsepower, 6-speed auto, and this also does come in a 6-speed manual, which most sedans now do not come in. So that's a big plus. Front-wheel drive car, you get 25 and 37 on the highway. Competitors are the Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Chevy Malibu, and Kia Optima. And this is probably the one vehicle that I think can compete with Kia Optima, in my opinion. Because I've always said that Kia Optima has been one of my favorite vehicles out there, and a lot of my friends have bought them because of it. But driving this, I would recommend the Mazda 6. Starting price for the vehicle is $21,495. If you top it out in the Grand Tourings, you can get a little in the high or the low 30s, but well worth every penny.
So Mazda, the most fuel-efficient car company in North America, named for 2015. The only thing I think about this car that it needs is a little bit of interior and a little bit of tech. Apart from that, it in the Kia Optima are my battle for that midsize sedan.
Does need a little bit of tech in there, but I think that it's the drive too, because it feels like a sportier car, like more of a luxury sedan like the 5 Series or BMWs and Cadillac. It has a nice sport drive to it. Does lag off the line a little bit, but once you're on the freeway or in the mountains or anything, it has plenty of power.
You use lag off the line. You sound like you've been drag racing it.
Well, I do have a lead foot. I like it when the light turns green.
All right.
We've all know that.
Brad, what have you been driving this week?
I got to drive what I think is going to be one of my top picks for the year was the Hyundai Sonata plug-in hybrid. And we talked a bit ago. I got to take it on a trip up to Great Wolf Lodge. We won't talk about that, but the liquor store across the street
I really want to talk
expanded dramatically. It's the liquor store across the street is very popular. But one of my favorite features, this car is hybrid and then plug-in. So there is a 27-mile.
Hence, it's called a plug-in hybrid.
Thus,
yeah, okay.
But,
checking.
Just because we're obvious doesn't mean we know what we're talking about. 27-mile range on the electric, I guess, tank, for lack of a better term. 600-mile total range on that vehicle. Big, nice sedan, great to drive. And the adaptive cruise control worked beautifully. I mean, it was spectacular. I just set it, and it slowed me down. For 50 miles, something like that, I didn't even touch either the brake or the gas pedal. It was really fun to drive, greatly appointed on the inside.
I have to tell you my problem. So most people know that Kia and Hyundai are the same company. Hyundai owns a large portion of Kia. Here's my issue. I think when you get a Hyundai and it's decked out, you can hardly beat it. I mean, it's a great vehicle. But when you step down in the tech, the screens get so small, and the lack of technology in the vehicles in the lesser than full trim levels is really, really disappointing. So I would probably take the Hyundai every time when it's completely full of every option they have. but I'd take a Kia 100% of the time if I'm not checking every box.
Yeah, because we're looking at almost $40,000
right.
for this particular vehicle. You get the tax credit, federal tax credit, the Oregon tax credit, but that still puts it well over 30.
And I think a lot of those things are going away now. I was just talking to Chevy, and they have a big deal going on because the HOV lanes go away in California, I think, in April. So they're going to have some problems with a lot of the vehicles that people have been buying to get those HOV lanes. They're now going to have to buy a sticker.
Are they going to go to the Washington State Elite lane where you can pay extra money to be in the left lane?
I'm not sure, but I think that's the basis of it, is that you don't just get there because you have a vehicle that meets the criteria. Now it's going to cost you money.
Yeah, even if you don't get all the benefits, as we talked about here, the Sonata, I really enjoyed driving the vehicle. It's obviously a bigger sedan, so it fits my frame better.
Did you get the grape juice out of the back seats?
No grape juice. Kids are not allowed, unlike your dogs.
They're kids are not grape juice. Wait, the dogs don't have grape juice in the back?
They're not allowed to eat in the car. They get water.
Really?
They get bottles of water. I've spent 30 years cleaning up after you guys.
Let's have this idea of a cage in the back of the car for Brad's kids.
And, it was big enough that I couldn't reach back and smack Cade, so it was good. No, I had 10 out of 10 for this car. I really, really enjoyed this.
Awesome. All right, coming up on Test Miles, we're going to talk to Magellan. They have a new product that's going to be introduced at CES this year. Also, we're going to be talking about CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. That goes on next week, or this week, I guess it is, being Sunday, the first day of the week in Las Vegas. John Vincent's going to be here to talk to us about that, and also the North American International Auto Show happening in Detroit in 2 weeks' time. Plus, we'll announce our car or our vehicle of the year here on Test Miles. That's all coming up on FM News 101 KXL. Stay connected. I'm Nick Miles.
It's Test Miles on FM News 101.